Hello, all you beautiful beings. It's Gage here, and welcome to Real Talk. I was planning on doing this November, but I've been meeting a lot of interesting people, and I want to start having them as guests. And I might have a guest soon on here. Sometimes your plan doesn't always go, but sometimes the time is when you don't expect it. And I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful. I'm grateful and privileged to be able to do this podcast with you guys. And I want to talk. And this video is going to be actually about my journey, how my journey kind of led to this podcast. Let's start from the beginning. I was born autistic, but I didn't get diagnosed to 5. I didn't verbally talk. I was very smart for my age. Even at like 3 years old, I was stacking boxes to get to the cabinet. And showed levels of autism, so I was diagnosed medium with mid autism. And I didn't know until I was like 12. When I started I didn't get to, I was in regular classes right up till I was like about 6th grade. And that's when I was sent to special needs class. I didn't understand some of the subjects in school. I had a hard time learning it. I don't think I really got the concept of some of the lessons they were teaching. And I got to special needs class. It wasn't the greatest experience. The teachers were nice and everything like that. They helped me understand a little bit more concepts about math and the basic things that school teaches you, but we weren't in class that much. 2 to 3 times a week we would go to job sites. They would have us clean up trash at Walmart. They had us go to, I believe, Cador's Park. We would clean up there, clean up bins. Basically, they did not have very high expectations for people with autism. And over time, I never really talked to my parents about it. Eventually my father found out because he was driving by and he saw me doing clean up trash. I slowly I held things in. I didn't talk about them, and I started to get a little angry. Because I would be like, why are we doing this? And they said it's part of what they do. Actually, my dad was telling me that he actually went to me and said, this is some bullshit, basically. Like, this is not right. This is me and probably a few other kids. Few of the other kids they can do more than just clean trash. Like, what kind of example are you setting for all these kids that are born with autism? Like, they're not fucking janitors. Like, nothing that's wrong with janitors. I have respect for them, but giving these kids at least hope and not just direction. Like, oh, this is one way. This is the only way you can go, and it's as high as you can go. No, it's not about that. And that's based. And my dad took me out of that school, and I eventually went to. I went to New Oxford High School. Kind of same thing there, though. A lot of the schools I went to, they still had job sites, shit like that. But I was able to get a little bit more classes in New Oxford. Was there for about. Actually, I was there for 7th and 9th grade, but they would have us still dust the hallways, clean cafeterias, and that's when the bullying started. Because kids would see this, and they would bully me, and that included my football team, because I started playing football in 7th grade, and the whole team they would pick on me. Maybe one or two players, they actually helped me out, because I couldn't even lace my uniform, and this really awesome dude, I can't think of his name right now, but he helped me out when I was in a very hard spot. He helped me with practice. He talked to me. He invited me to sit with him and during lunch time and everything like that. So that show of kindness really helped me in a very hard time. So I'm I am grateful. I am grateful for that. And I would be in classes, and my classmates, and the class would look up to me, and I didn't like that because I felt like I wasn't someone you looked up to. I was very I didn't have a lot of confidence in myself. I was very self-conscious about my weight, everything about me. I never thought highly of myself. Um, and I started kind of acting out a little bit, not too crazy, but I guess being disrespectful a little bit, I got detention a lot. I'd be late, late for school. I would stay up. I was on the stage of depression. I was in the state of, yeah, and I wasn't aware of what was happening to me. And that continued for a long. That took continued for years. I had even me and my friend, and all these job sites are basically borderline child labor. You know what I mean? We're doing fucking hours of work, and this is jobs that you get paid for. It's not like we're getting paid for it. Me and my one friend Tyler, my childhood friend, well, kind of childhood. We met in middle school, but yeah, we're like, man, this is kind of bullshit. And honestly, and down the line, it really affected us. But that'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, that continued for a couple years. Did the same thing, late for class. I would do good in some classes. It's not like I didn't try at all, but I lost. I just stopped caring. I stopped caring. And my family was one of the only reasons that really kept me going for the most part. And I would distract myself with girls, and all that stuff. A teenage boy. Those are the kind of things that fill your mind. You're kind of not worried about all this shit. You're distracting yourself from the pain you're feeling inside. Sophomore year, that's when I really started to become aware of my pain. Actually, I thought it was my breakup with my ex-girlfriend, my high school sweetheart, but it wasn't that. That was part of it, but it was much deeper than that. Sophomore year, this girl came in. It was culture class. I forget what this time it was about, but she was like, the people that smile the most are the ones in the most pain, and that touched me in the way I didn't expect to, because I was that person. Now I was holding a lot of pain inside, and because I was treated I was treated like shit, and judged, looked as an alien, or as pitied, because I was diagnosed with mental disability, and that's when I really started to get in a depressive state for many years, trying to distract myself, and that's the horn back there. That horn has many uses, but our young visitors probably messing with it or playing with it a little bit. So, oh wait, actually, someone's leaving, so that's usually what it's used for, or someone might be practicing with it to get better at it. But anyway, yeah, that continued for many years. I had a stepmom and a stepsister who I was very close with, and my stepmom, she has some mental issues, and she gave my father a letter, very it wasn't very emotional, and she left. And I haven't seen my sister probably it's been like 7 years. We're very close, we were together for 4 years, and that was another thing that really affected me. And kind of going centered this. I was 16 when this happened, and I felt like I lost my family. My dad was he went in a very depressed state. He was struggling a lot, and I wanted to be there for him the best I could. But for that pain, that stage, well, not stage, but just that part of my journey and my father's journey. I met my best friend T. He was very special. I can't remember when the first time we met, but it felt like we knew each other forever. He would take me for football, eat, and take me to eat. We just hung out we hung out a lot. He was my brother. He was like an older brother to me, and he always told me to chase my dreams and to never listen to what other people tell you to do. You go for your own journey. He didn't look down on me or pity me. He looked at me as a soul, a human being. And I'll never forget that. He's one of the few people that believed in me. Everyone didn't. Most people didn't. They usually pitied me or looked down on me or basically saw someone that was born wrong, that had a deficiency. And for many years of this, my best friend, he went away. He got in some trouble and went away for a couple years. So I think, so it was hard when he left, when I couldn't talk to him. So it continued many years. My dad's still going through a lot. My parents both find their own demons. My mom will always be there. She was always there for me when I need her. She would take us, she would do a lot for me and my brother, but she wasn't always mentally there because it just seemed like she's always somewhere else trying to find who she really was. And was kind of struggling after my parents' divorce, so she's trying to find her own path. So she wasn't always mentally there with me, which I kind of lashed out. We didn't have a very good relationship back when I was in high school and when I lived with her. My father, my relationship with my dad was decent, but we didn't always. It wasn't always perfect, but he was always there for me, and he would always talk to me. Most parents would try to spank you or do this, do that. My father would always talk to me. He would talk about things that he learned throughout his life that he wished he would have learned at my age, and he just talked to me. He became my best friend. So I'll always be grateful for that. I didn't always get the lessons at the time, but when I got older, I started to get what he was saying. I moved to New Jersey. My brother, he was in Turkey for about 15 months, back when I was probably like 16, and then he came back. He got stationed in New Jersey, and I moved in with him. And I'm telling you, I was kind of like an animal in a cage. Because my brother, when I moved in with him before that, I would play video games. I would basically eat and sleep all day. I would, besides when it was school time. And then I was wearing whatever I could find, sweatpants, shirt. I wouldn't shower a lot of times. I was very unconscious, and I would cry most nights. I would curse God. I was mad at many things. I'd be like, God, why the fuck did you do this to me? Why did you make me aware of my own pain? Why couldn't you make me dumb enough where I wouldn't be aware of these things? My dog Scout was always there with me. He would always lay with me. He just knew. It was awesome having him there with me. I'm not saying it's for pity. It's just, it was my mindset back then, and I just didn't understand it at the time. I felt my life would never change. Yeah, my brother was my hero, and I looked up to him, and he's one of the reasons I kept going. My family, people I met in my life, they're the reason I kept going, because I lost motivation for myself. I didn't like myself very much, and New Jersey was a turning point for me. I started working out. My brother helped me. He helped me work. He helped me through a lot because I could barely be I could barely be touched. My family helped me with that, like especially being autism. I didn't like being autistic. I didn't like to be touched too much. I never liked that. But they helped me. The hugging wasn't bad. As long as it's people you trust. They helped me a lot through that. My brother helped me a lot in New Jersey when he's in the military. He wasn't the best mindset, and yet he still helped me a lot. Our relationship wasn't perfect, but he helped me a lot. He kind of stepped in that father role for that year. Actually, a couple years, because he helped me for a long time. And I was doing good in school. I started caring again. I got honor roll, and I graduated high school. I did really good. I did get sick though. I got the virus. Like literally, like the week before my graduation, I missed it. I was not feeling so hot. Actually, two people got sick, probably most likely from me. Yeah, so I never got to make my graduation, but I didn't really care that much because very few people would have made it. But I wasn't always the person like, oh, graduation. I was looking forward to getting out of school, but I wasn't like a big graduation party type of dude. I wasn't really looking at that. But then me, my brother, and my father moved to Maryland, where my dad grew up, and things took a bad turn. I started to get depressed. I started drinking. I was in a very. I think everything collided from the years of depression, not expressing how I felt, not talking about it. It came to a clash, and I start after a while, listen to depressing music. Trying to think of that one song, man. Damn, and here, man. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember what the name is. Yeah, I can't remember it. It's always literally. I was listening earlier, like it literally popped out on Spotify for me, and I can't remember it. Shit. But anyway, yeah, I would listen to depressing music, Maroon 5, Blue October, all those songs, really sad songs. Feel sorry for myself songs, and I started to every day I started to think of multiple times a day I would think about different ways to end my life, because I started to feel numb, just pain all over my heart, and the pain was the only thing that made me feel human, because for the most part I felt numb. Just from the years of feeling everything that's happened in my life. I didn't feel like this. I felt like this world would be better without me, because everyone around me was struggling. My brother, my dad, my mother. I felt partially because of me. Obviously that wasn't true, but at that time, I felt that way. Which led me to a very, very big day in my life. I don't know when it was. I believe it was around summertime. I had a knife to my throat. Closed my eyes. because this is going to be the biggest decision of my life. A decision that would take me out of the world that I felt so much pain in. Then I got flashes of memories. My brother, my mom, my father, my best friend T. Many people I've met throughout my life, and then I got a memory of a show I watched, 13 Reasons Why. This girl, she killed herself after she was raped, and she never talked about it. She tried to, but she didn't have the strength to. And I saw how many people in her life that was affected by it. People that felt responsible for her death and that cared about her, but they were going through a lot of shit in their life that kind of distanced themselves from her, and she didn't know it at the time. And I saw the effect that her death had around everybody, and that she never really gave life a chance. And I thought about that, and I was like, and then I started imagining what the people would be affected around my life. So I decided to talk to the one person that could truly help me, the only person that could, my brother. So I told him everything, how much I was feeling, how much I was holding in, the hatred I had inside myself, the anger. It was directed towards people, but really it was towards myself. He told me the same thing I thought. I was thinking about how much it would affect everybody, and how much it meant to him. And he said he would help me the best thing he could. You know, so I told him, like, take away the knives, everything, man, because I can't trust myself right now. I made a decision. I made a promise to myself that day. I promised myself that I would truly live my life, not what everybody's told me my whole life. I would live my true life. And I started working out, meditating. My brother showed me P90X. I started working out with that. The hardest workout you can do. I was like, God damn, it kicked my ass. I started meditating. But a week after I started doing this, I found out my best friend T died. He died of an overdose 6 months ago, and I didn't even know about it. Because I just got off social media, and because I couldn't do it right now. With my state of mind, I couldn't do it. I was making videos, but I really wasn't on social media like that. So I didn't even know my best friend died. I was in denial. I'll still never forget the day that my dad and brother said, he's dead. I wanted that. I was like, you're joking. There's no fucking way he's dead. I had this vision. Me, my father, my brother, and T, we're all hanging out. Me and her have her kids. T has his kids, and we're all just talking about all the times we had together the past 30 years. And I always imagined he would be there throughout my whole life. You know, if I had to talk to someone, he'd be there. I went in my room. I had to go to my room, and I started crying. I was angry. I was like, T, why the fuck would you do this? Why? I was so angry because I lost one of the most people in my life that believed in me when no one else did. You know, he was my brother. Person that I would go to war with. Someone that I would do anything to help him. So I didn't give up. I was like, I can't give up, because if I do, I won't come back from it. So I made a promise to myself that day I would honor T and I would live his life for him. So I worked hard. The pandemic was my training. I worked on working out, spirituality, mental. I started reading a lot. T's death gave me a little extra push. I cried a lot. I grieved a long time for T. A long time. And I blamed myself for a lot of years for his death because I wasn't there because I was unconscious and I was in a very depressed state. I wasn't in the state to talk to anybody at that moment. I blamed myself for a long time. When I started doing this program, Ultimate Edge by Tony Robbins, he became a big mentor for me. Changed my life. It took a lot of work to get where I am today. Started doing my podcast, You Buck That, when I moved to Tampa in 2021. I put a lot of work in, but I was still going. I had a spiritual ego. I started to think I thought I knew more than other people. And I drank a lot. I was I would drink every night. I did have a good time though. You know what I mean? I was like walking down. I was at Gatesburg at this time, and I'm walking down. I'm like Freaky Friday, and those were some good times. But also, I was drinking a lot, and because I was looking for a girl, I was doing this, I was doing that, and I was trying to ignore how I was feeling, because I was looking for something deeper, and I didn't find it where it was, and I was starting to get a tad bit. I went hard with working out, with everything obsessive. I was obsessive with losing weight, but eventually I was like 210, but that didn't satisfy me, so I started gaining weight. I got a little down, and then I decided to move to Florida, and I started my podcast, You Buck That. I became a Buccaneers fan. And through that, I met so many incredible people. I interviewed a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I met some awesome people. Evan Winters, he's a writer for Buccaneers, and so he writes about the Packers as well. And people from Loose Cannons podcast. Met a really cool dude, Jerome, but he hasn't been very active, and I haven't talked to him in a little while. But he really helped me through my podcast, and I got involved in other communities like the Orlando Guardians and the Tampa Bay Infernos, which is his professional females team. I highly recommend you check them out. They're an amazing group of women. Awesome people. Leading by head coach Arlo Henderson and many other. And all the other coaches are amazing as well. And they're doing a great thing, women can do a lot, and I think it's getting better now. Times are definitely better, but there's still some ideals that they can't do as much as men, and that's always the case. There's a lot of women that can do a lot. The only thing, it's the heart. That's what matters. I so highly recommend you check them out. I supporting them, and they actually support my podcast, and I made videos with them. I've been in contact with the team and the owner, the coaches, and it's been amazing. I met a lot of amazing people through that. Orlando Guardians. I met some really cool people there. I actually interviewed one of the players, Devin. Devin was his name, and I can't say his last name right now, but he was an awesome dude. Very, very deep person, and had a really great conversation with him. And that's why I say, and eventually I kind of got away from You Buck That. This kind of touched base on that. I actually had an experience, and a spiritual experience, and football, as I got deeper into it, it started getting very political. I was worried about the cancel culture, because I've gotten really deep in spirituality, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's weird, dude. That's fucking crazy." And a lot of people would think that. And eventually they'd be like, okay, this dude doesn't even know he's one of these wacko fans. And I was always worried about that, and I felt like I couldn't be myself through this podcast. I loved it. But my vision always kind of differed from you, Bucked Out. You Bucked Out was about football, but I wanted to interview people's journeys. I wanted the perspectives that led them to where they are today. Things that truly matter. Football is it's entertaining, but it isn't life. You know, I was obsessed with football. For the past 15 years, I was football. I was obsessed with it in a very unhealthy way of, and it's not. And people that are passionate about it, it's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that, but for me, I want something a little deeper, and I didn't. And that wasn't my life. I didn't want it to be. And it took a lot of pain to make me realize that, and it led me to here, Hostel in the Forest. Been here about a week, and I feel completely different than I was coming here. This place has changed my life for the better. And I'm doing this. And this is the first episode of Real Talk. People that are going to give their perspectives and things that help them along the way for their journey. And I'm actually going to have someone come on. He's a writer. This week he's going to be coming on. He's a writer, and he was a former military. And his journey is amazing. I'm really excited for you guys to kind of see that and, kind of look through his perspective of things. So I'm really excited to bring that. And I have a couple people that I met that became really good friends with that have amazing journeys, and I love the perspectives of things. So I'm really excited to have them on the show. And honestly, guys, I'm just grateful to be here. I feel really present in the moment. I used to understand, be in the moment. I understand that, and then I would always sit thinking about the big picture. I was not always here. I was always thinking about, what am I going to be a month from now? Where am I going to be a year from now? It's good to have goals, but you're constantly thinking about it. You're going to be in the future. You're not in the present. And if you're saying about, man, that sucks. Fuck. Man, I can't believe I did that back in high school, or this, that, all the time. Oh man, I can't believe I did that. Or, I can't believe I forgot to wash my hands. I can't believe I forgot to tie my shoe. Random shit like that. And we have fouls of fault today. Random ass fault. It's like, oh man, I was late for work. Oh my god, I have to get to work. I didn't take a walk today. I didn't work out. These things take you out of the moment. Look around. Look at the flowers. Breathe. Just be there. Be here. And I wasn't there. There's a difference. There's a big difference between understanding and feeling it. I understood it. I never felt it. And being here, I really... Everything I read for Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, Jim Quick, Jonathan Levy, all these people I met throughout my life. I mean, not met, but studied under. I understand what you're saying now. I always understood, but I feel what you're saying now. And now I can take these lessons and grow each day. And I'm excited. This podcast... I got inspiration from Shroom Talk, which is going to be a podcast for the House on the Forest. It's a brand new podcast. Again, it's in development right now, but I'm really excited for it, and I can't wait to be on the show. I'm really excited for it. But guys, this is my journey. It wasn't the most perfect journey, and hopefully you guys can take some lessons that I learned for this. I had to learn to love myself again, to be present with myself, to not be over obsessive about a lot of things, being more present inside, and just love yourself. Saying these things you say in your head, I'm dumb, I'm stupid, blah, blah, blah. It affects you. You're beautiful. You guys are beautiful. You're amazing. You're just growing. You guys aren't fuck-ups. You aren't fuck ups. We're only human. You know, it's the human condition. We're gonna fuck up sometimes. But it's the lesson. You know, like all the pain I went through, I wouldn't change it, none of it. Because it made me who I am. It helped me grow as a person. And I'll always be grateful for that. And I would not change a thing about it. Love yourself, guys. Love yourself. And it'll help your relationships, it'll help everything in your life. Stay grateful. Because if you're scared of the future or this, that, you're not gonna be grateful. You can't be grateful when you're in a fear state mentality. It took me a long time to realize that, and I'm grateful for everyone in my life. My brother Hunter, my father Robert, my mom, many friends of mine, like Abraham, Emmanuel, Alex, who is going to be on the podcast. So I'm just grateful, guys, and thank you for tuning in, and stay blessed, and